Yo, and we're live. For real this time. Hopefully everybody that was here before will come back. He was like, wait a minute. There are two people in here. Yeah. That was hilarious. All right, I'm gonna get the live going here on the Facebook side.
What's good, YouTube? What's good, YouTube? Ivan's in here. We see you.
Facebook.
Willie Smooth Cat, he back.
We live on Facebook now too.
We see you.
Yep, Ivan.
Hey, listen, Facebook, YouTube, everybody. We was on time, but the spinning circle of death happened with our connection
It's always something.
because it's a Apple computer. Y'all know how that is.
Because
They
no,
take
it's-
30%, and then they don't even want to work.
it's because when I meant to do good, it's quiet in here. I'm not gonna get any help. Evil
Okay, all right.
is always
We're not-
present, Bishop. I listen.
Every time I try to do right.
Listen, see, even
Shout out
Ivan
to-
felt something. I wish that
Shout
you
out
would, listen, Ivan.
Willie Jemerson.
You may not have anyone next to you, but if you could tap your
Will the
head-
drummer, Willie Smooth Cat, Chris Jordan II.
Oh my goodness.
What's good?
We got one watcher on Facebook, but they ain't like nothing. We got two watchers on Facebook, but they ain't like nothing. Oh,
Hold
see,
on.
one then dipped.
See, we got people watching on YouTube, and y'all ain't like nothing.
Oh my,
2 likes?
we got 6 people in there.
The math ain't adding up.
Yo, look, let's get to the preliminaries, man. Let's get to-
Preliminaries is how do we sound?
First of all,
That's for the preliminaries. We can't hear ourselves.
what's good,
man.
Robo? We see you, fam.
What's good? Y'all know what it is. Your boy, Drum Coach Samadi. We're in this thing.
Damani right here. You know what it is. Founder of the Drum Tracks app. To the sponsors,
The Drum Tracks app.
the Drum Tracks app. You
Which
know
used
what
to
it
be
is.
sticksplayalongs.com, but we moved everything over
It's-
to a different name.
It's never been that.
It's been.
You got to stop this
It's
lying.
it has not been that all year. Correct.
It
has
has
not been-
not ever
It
been
has
that.
not been
It
Sticks
has
Play
not
Alongs.
ever been that.
It's Drum Tracks app. Download the
You
app.
know what it is.
There's still tracks free to stream.
You know what it is.
So there's a free side
right, but then
and
we
there's
also,
a pay side.
right, because we have a whole bunch of drum lessons for you guys, man. We're not just all talking the podcast, man. We actually get down. We'll teach you guys the stuff you want to know to help you become a better drummer, and then you can take what you learn and apply it to real musical situations with the tracks on the app. It's a beautiful thing. There's a bunch of features on the app, new features on the app that you can unlock with a paid membership. And listen, it's only $9.99 to subscribe to the app
For now.
because that is going to go up. You don't have to pay anything to stream, to create a free account and to stream all the tracks. You can do that. But if you want all of the content that we have on the app and to unlock all the features, it's $9.99 a month. It's well worth it. Rock with your boys. We believe in it. So you definitely want to subscribe. Now,
It's offering time. Open up your wallet
listen, I feel like some giving music.
and fire up the organ.
There is an organ over
if you
there.
want to be blessed.
We actually did
Pay
that
your tithes and your offering.
last Sunday at Mount Olive. That
I don't-
real
don't-
talk.
Don't.
It doesn't, you know, at the end of the day, it's not even. It don't matter what funk groove it is.
It's
It
just
just has
funk.
to be a funk groove.
That's it.
Like when they first said we're doing this song, I said, "Yo, I've never heard the recording. Do you guys have the recording?" And it's like, we don't believe there is one.
Somebody wrote that in service. It said, "Yo, if you want to be blessed, pay your
pay your
tithes."
$9.99 subscription to the Drum Tracks. Yeah.
Shout out to Robo. Shout out to Hareem.
Yep. Hey, but for those of you who do sign up for the $9.99, you're locking that price. That price won't go up for you as long as you're a member. But in a little while, we're gonna up that price. It's gonna be $19.99. But for now, $9.99. All right, let's get into the topic, man. Y'all see what it is. Oh, look, we got Jacquees Dixon. He made
Is
it
he
into
back?
He made it into the live.
It's
He,
a-
he
I
been
ain't
missing
seen
the lives.
I ain't seen that name since Drumfield Friday. What's
Listen.
good, Brody?
Listen, at the end of the day, he had commented on one of the other lives. Was like, how do I keep missing these? And I told him what the times was, so he made it through. Welcome to the turn up, fam. Okay, let's get to the topic. Y'all see the topic on the screen? We call it the hiatus effect.
Shout out to I forgot his last name, Emmanuel. Hopefully he joins us at some point in time.
On Facebook.
No, on YouTube. On YouTube from the last video, he posed a question. I'll paraphrase, get straight to the question. This is his question, should I take a break from gigging and just focus on shedding? When he's saying shedding, what he's meaning is practicing to get better,
Right.
not just shedding and playing a whole bunch of drum fills. That is included. Yes, it's a part of it, but also working on your groove,
Right.
working
Just trying
on
to become a better
technicalities.
drummer all the way around.
Yeah, working on independence or whatever that is, just becoming a better drummer. So he's asking, should he take a break? So I will ask, have you ever taken a break from gigging to just focus on becoming a better musician, whether it was drums, bass, keys, whatever?
I don't know if I've intentionally stopped. Like, yo, for this next 6 months, I'm not doing any gigs. All I'm gonna do is practice. I don't know if I've done that. It's been something, honestly, that I've been thinking about though, over the last 6 months. I've been thinking about, because I do have a project that I'm gonna put out this winter. It's gonna be either late December or January. I'm even thinking about around my birthday time releasing this Morning Meditations album that I've been, for the last year doing on my Instagram type thing. But I've been thinking, like, after I do a run of that, what if I stopped for 6 months or for 3 months and really just honed in on a certain aspect of my playing that I really want to see grow. And the reason why I've been thinking about it is I watched a documentary. Geez, I can't even
Documentary.
talk. I can't even talk.
Documentary.
I watched a documentary last year on Netflix of John Coltrane.
The Bishop.
And we all know, he's a jazz giant, right? He innovated in the genre. They even call it the Coltrane era. And one thing that I saw, because he was a beast, but at a certain point, he stopped. He went into a hiatus. He moved out of like New York City into a more rural part and practiced. And that's when he came back out with Giant Steps. That's which we all know is the iconic song that revolutionized the genre, that everybody was like, still to this day, it's almost like a rites of passage. You must, like, if you're raw, you have to go through that song.
You have to be able to play it and solo through it as well.
Jesus, and it's not easy.
Yeah, that part.
It's not, and it's not even like the
when you say you have to play this solo through, you're not referring to drummers. You're talking about.
Oh, this is for like, musicians who play instruments that are mainly melodic based, that play notes, like the scale from the 12 notes on the piano. If you play a horn, you got to be able to play this song. Like, even if you listen to the recording of that song, while John Coltrane blazed through his solo, you listen back to the session guy who was playing piano, he was struggling. Like, it was almost unfair that they came and sat those charts in front of him that day, because this was unlike anything. But John Coltrane had been on a hiatus in the shed, like literally in the middle of nowhere by himself, studying all of these things. And so he came out, and shout out to Sheila, who just joined, Auntie Sheila, who just joined the Facebook live. But anyway, the idea that I've been thinking about is like, yo, it is actually hard, and we've talked about this before, it's hard to get better or to focus on practicing getting better at your instrument when you're playing a lot of gigs. Because the majority, especially if you're an adult and you have other things to do in your life other than sit at the drum kit, because the majority of your time is spent learning songs. And learning songs, you can get better doing that, because songs may have some stuff in them that, if you're learning challenging enough songs, I'll say, because they may have some things in them that you can't already do. And so you'll have to get better to be able to do it. So learning that song will actually make you a better musician. But that's different than really just breaking down and not saying, hey, I'm not trying to learn this song to play a gig. I'm literally practicing things to get better. I want to see these specific aspects of my playing improve. And I am going to not play gigs at all. That Saturday night that I'd be out on playing gigs, I'm going to be in the shed actually trying to get better. That is a whole other thing. All those times that I'm spending.
When you say at all, you mean all gigs? What if they're full-time musicians and they only make money from their gigs?
Right, then that makes it difficult to do. Like, those are whole different decisions you have to make, right? I mean, if the only money you make is from playing live gigs locally, you might not be able to just stop.
What about if?
But if you're touring, it's even worse.
Yeah.
But if you're local and you're playing nothing but local gigs, you could probably still practice a lot if that's all you do for a living.
Mhm.
You should have a lot of time during the day. But I'm talking about most people, that's usually not the case.
Because they have a job, have kids, have family.
Right. Most people is they may have a band that they play in, and they spend their time writing with their band. They spend their time creating. They spend their time. But it's like a cycle, man. It's okay to spend time creating and then to spend time actually practicing to get better, spend time experiencing things and then going back into a creative phase, right?
Yep.
Like there's nothing wrong with that. There's some creative periods are longer than others. I've been in a really, really long creative period. And there's a part of me that feels like maybe I just want to step back for a second, put out what I have, but step back and actually go back in, dive deeper, go further in the craft, experiment more, listen more, and then come back again, right? But I call it the hiatus effect because that's what it seemed like has worked for John Coltrane, and then you were even talking about the big homie who did something similar, right?
Yeah. Way back, Eric told me that when right before
Eric or Enrique.
Enrique, morning, signal champ, turn up, happy New Year, baby. Y'all know what it is.
Time out. It is definitely the middle of September,
but it's a new podcast, and it's a new
we're
number.
We're not gonna start this.
We're not in the 40s.
We're not.
We're in the 50s.
Okay.
You know what it is,
My
good
God.
people. Turn up.
Listen.
Anyway, Enrique More told me back when he did Drum Off, 2003 is when he won. So going up into that, he lost one of his main gigs outside of church. He's playing at church,
Right.
But church is easy because it's
Of
like
course.
after a while you know the songs. Like if
Right.
you've been playing at the church for a year,
Yeah. The
you know the
repertoire
songs.
is
It's simple. So you have one rehearsal during the week, and you have your service on Sunday, and then that was it. Well, he had another gig outside of that, but the artist that he played for moved out of the state,
so he had no gigs.
he didn't have a gig outside of church.
Got it.
So he took that time to not find another gig. He took that time to just shed and work on his solo get better as a drummer, number one, but then also work on his soloing for the Drum Off, because he had done it, I can't remember, 5, 6, 7 times. So he knew you got to have a 5-minute solo for this, a 3-minute solo for that, a 3 for that, a 4 for this. And he worked on all of his solos. Then that year, that's the year that he won. Whereas I am dedicating my life to making sure that I get this.
Yeah.
And that was kind of his first stepping stone to putting himself on the map. And from there, more gigs started to happen. I mean, he was able to still practice and whatnot, but he started getting more calls, and he started to be known as far as locally.
It's what took him from being good to great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was just literally a concentrated period of time, though, that he did that in. And so when I look at this reminds me of a book that I read. And shout out to BJ McBride, who has joined in the Facebook group.
Is that my elder?
One time.
Is that my elder?
I see it on the
my
Facebook
jurisdictional
side.
prelate.
Wow.
Is in the building.
And for those on Facebook, you might hear us shout some people out that you don't see, because we're also live on YouTube, which is where the majority of the people watching are at.
I saw this a while ago. Let me mention this real quick. Blake the Great said that he took a 6-month break due to the fact that he couldn't get a Sunday to play at church. He said, I go to, and when I got the chance, play at the church that he goes to. And when he got the chance, his playing has gotten better. 30 times better.
Yeah, because I mean, you're actually spending your time practicing. But what you were saying about what Eric did in this hiatus effect, it reminds me of a book that I read this year called The One Thing by Gary Keller. And this book talks about you focusing on the main thing, right? And there may be a bunch of other things. There may be other things that are of priority, but there's one thing that's the highest priority. And you decide everything that you're doing based on what that goal is. Prioritizing everything you accept, everything you say yes to, you say no to, the things that you're doing with your time, minute by minute. Like, you may have a goal that's 5 years from now. What am I doing that will get me closer to that, right? And if what you're doing is not, then that's the thing. So once you decide that, hey, I want to get better at the drums or at any instrument or at anything, it may mean saying no to a lot of other things. And
that part.
And saying no to a lot of other things may mean gigs for a period of time if that's not serving the purpose that you want. But that doesn't mean that you won't play gigs forever. It just means for this time, for this season, you'll be like, okay, I know I felt something
It's
when
a
I
new
said that.
season.
I felt something, Bishop. The organ it's still right there. I don't
Glory,
know.
I felt
They can't
a
see it, but if
shift.
you were on last week, you saw
Mm-hmm.
that there was an anointing resting on that organ. Bishop.
Oil.
All you got to do
Ooh.
was turn it on. See, listen,
Nothing but the oil over there.
I get excited when
Okay, that's enough.
But at the end of the
God,
day,
dog it.
it's about focusing on. It's about taking the time to really narrow the focus on the one thing. And I think that hiatus effect, man, it yields dividends, bro. Like
I would say that you may not have to quit all your gigs.
Right.
I would say quit all the extra gigs that you can get away with quitting. So sometimes you may only keep one if you're a full-time musician.
Sure.
You may keep one where it's like, hey, I'm just doing that because it doesn't require that much maintenance because you know all of the music.
Right.
Whether if it's just a Saturday night gig and y'all rehearse or barely rehearse, keep that one, and then everything else that you was doing, like, you was doing this Wednesday little jam session, and then you pulled up to this spot on the Friday night and caught all those out, but keep your main gig.
I think it, like I said, though, it depends on what you want. Because when I watched that John Coltrane documentary, my man moved out.
He had the money to move out.
Well, depends on what you want, right?
Depends on what you have.
Well, depends on what you want, right?
Depends on what you.
Because
if you live at home with moms and pops, I think you can do it.
But you get what I'm saying is this: he could have kept gigging,
Correct.
and could have kept going to the club to just because he was already ridiculous. It wasn't like he wasn't already raw, but him making that huge of a sacrifice, and him going far away and isolating himself to this study, and they still have the documents and all of the diagrams and stuff that he was drawing out of the circle of fifths and all of that study that he did on there. That's how he came up with Giant Steps.
Yeah,
and that whole project. But and the reason why he was able to blaze through the solos, like it's a science. He knew the art of it. He studied it, but the dividend that it yielded from him doing that was a classic, like rites of passage type of song for musicians now. Like it reset the standard.
And I say
so
that
he did something really drastic and got a crazy drastic result.
But I think he had enough money to be able to go away from
gigging. Sure. He had
to buy the house that he was in.
Yes, true.
Like some of these people don't have that kind of money to be like, hey, listen, I'm finna just seclude myself, still be able to eat, still be able to pay my bills, still be able to drive the car where I need to go. I'm saying there's some people that don't. They think like, oh man, I can't do that because I got woo-de-woo. So I would say you do have to save up. If you're gonna quit everything.
I mean, that's only if. But we are again assuming that people are making their living wholeheartedly off of just playing gigs, and we know, at least in our area, and when I say our area, I'm talking all of Northern California. That is not the majority of musicians. Okay, some of us do it.
Well, if that's the case, then if you're not a full-time musician, then quit all your gigs. Just work your job because that's what's sustaining you. That's sustaining you, and then only focus on getting better.
But if that's what you want, right? Some people may not want to get better; they're just trying to move higher in their career. They're like, well, I'm good enough to play this gig or that gig or the third, right? Because we've established in the conversation that you don't have to be Ronald Bruner status of a drummer or Thomas Pridgeon level, Eric Moore, all these other greats. You don't have to be that good to play for Justin Bieber, right? You got to be good, but you don't have to be like
ridiculous
Art Master Sensei Mason Guidry on the drums to play those gigs. So maybe
what you're saying is all those drummers who are playing for those artists are not good.
That's not what I'm saying.
So then what do you think of Michael Jackson singing?
I think Michael Jackson is a legend. Period. I don't know how we keep getting back to this. Matter of fact, it's so off topic. I don't even know how you got there.
Oh man.
Real quick. Shout out to DeAndre Williams in the house.
Is that the other bishop?
That is the other
bishop.
bishop. Shout out to Marvin Collins. Shout out to Brandon Scott.
Y'all know what it is.
Shout out to Shimuel. I don't know how to. Shimuel.
I think.
No, it's an A. Shimuel. I don't know.
Shim.
Fam.
DCJ says getting known is hard when a lot of people think because I don't blaze as well. I'm not good when I decide to not blaze over music.
Who said that?
DJC.
Getting known is hard when a lot of people think because I don't blaze well, I'm not as good as when I decide not to blaze over music. So wait, are you not blazing over music because you can't? Because you just said that you're not good at it, and then that's okay.
Wait, I'm lost.
Right, but I'm gonna just say this because I think I know what he's saying. He's saying getting known is hard when a lot of people think because I don't blaze, I'm not good. When I decide not to blaze over music, and what I'm saying is this.
Yeah, Jacques also answered that.
Okay, getting known can be hard. My advice is to keep getting out the house, take free gigs, and absolutely smash them. See, like you got to be good, bro. Off top, you got to be good because you don't want to be known for being bad, right? So if you feel like you're not good and you see that there's areas that you are lacking and you're weak in your playing, you need a hiatus at that point.
Look what Will the drummer wrote.
What did Will the drummer write? What about his singing? What about who's singing? Like I don't understand these non-specific questions, bro.
Ask the question.
Anyway, let's get back on topic, man, before we lose everybody. Marvin Collins, he wrote answer the question. Marvin, I answered the question, bro.
Which question?
I don't even know what question he's talking about. If he's
asking, no, you didn't answer. Yo, Marvin, I'm with you. I'm with you. If you're always deflecting. That's what it is. You deflect and avoid like the Matrix. You gonna ride that one to the grave, Brody.
Bro,
like I tell you what, he'll tell you off camera for sure what he really thinks.
It's not true.
When
I'm
it's turned
telling
off.
You on camera. I'm keeping.
Will the drummer says Michael Jackson singing? What do you think? That's okay.
I can answer real quick. We gotta get back on topic. Get back on topic. His singing, Will the drummer, his singing is legendary. How it doesn't answer the question? How does it not answer the question? It answers it to
DJC
me.
says he's replying back to Jacques. I'm trying, but those dudes blazing get most attention. Listen, you got it. Okay.
Go ahead. Say it. I don't even know why you waiting. Go ahead.
Family.
Say it.
Family. You got it. You got to practice. That's number one. You should be grateful that you're around people that you can see that are better than you. The worst thing in the world is to be the best person in the room because it means that you don't have. A lot of people lose motivation to grow when they are the best person. So if you have people around you that are blazing and doing things that you can't do, stay around them and you just understand that you can get there. All you have to do is put in the time and practice. And if you need some help with that, Brody, we have an app.
We have an app, and it's
shameless plug.
It's not even a shameless plug. It's a proud plug.
That's why I said shameless, not shameful.
It is. It's not even. It's more than just shameless. It's with pride.
Whoa,
to go to the app.
15 people in here and y'all ain't liked the video yet?
We got 4 likes over here.
YouTube.
Real talk though. If you're struggling to get better, go to the app. We got a ton of videos on the app that will show you guys that can show you how to do what you need to do.
Like the video now.
All right. So
I was going to say blazing does not always mean chops. There are some drummers who when they play groove,
it's amazing.
It's ridiculously amazing.
Fire.
And so you need to be working on that too. Talking about, I don't blaze like that. Yo, if your groove is blazing, they'll notice. And you will get that attention.
And the second thing, the one thing I noticed that when he said, and we're not picking on you, bro. Like real talk, we really want to see you get better. We really want to see you reach the goals that you want. So I'm saying this with all of the compassion, all of the love and respect that I can have. When you say that it's hard for you to get known because somebody else is blazing, you don't never want to point up and say it's their fault that you're not getting to where you want to go, because it's putting the power in someone else's hand. It is taking control away from yourself when you are actually in control of how much better you can get. All you have to do is practice. It's no one else's fault. So at the end of the day, I just wanted to say that to you, bro, so you can just have the right mindset when you go to practice. Like, it's on you, fam, and you can do it, and we want to see you do it. And that's why if you are having issues with it, I'm recommending that you just please check out the app, because we got stuff for you and we're there to support you. So that's what that is.
Shout out to Tyrone J. Thomas in here. What's good? Shout out to, I believe it's Justin, it's JV Ston Drums. He says, what up, fellas? Justin Drums, what's good? We see you. Okay. Oh, here we go. Willie Jimerson writes, been back drumming for a year. after not playing for over 10 years.
Wow.
My left hand gets stuck sometimes, and I'm not always able to play what I am thinking. What good exercises to do? Oh, listen.
Wow. See?
Perfect segue. We have this thing called Drum Tracks app. It's quiet. And on the app, we don't just have lessons. Okay. We have lessons, of course, but we also put the shed camp on there with that we did with Eric Moore. And we're going to upload the modified version of the shed camp, which will help you with your hand speed, hand strength, hand endurance, and control, not just a bunch of loud notes. We got stuff that's really pinpointing how to play ghost notes with your left hand on the snare, being able to play single stroke ghost notes, double stroke ghost notes, everything you need.
Right, and
to strengthen your hands.
And I do want to try to give you a tangible answer that you could take right now.
The Drum Tracks app is the tangible answer, because not only do we have the shed camp and about to be uploading the modified shed camp, we have a workout section. Oh, see,
we do,
it's quiet
and it's a ton of exercises, and it's hard. Like, we're doing a podcast, we're talking to you, so it's not like we're sitting at the drum kit where we could.
Well, there's a kit.
Yeah,
can y'all hear that?
Yeah, they probably. It's not okay. It's enough, bro. Put my sticks down, okay? Put my sticks down. Now,
there's a kit.
Rudiments are great. Practice pads are great. They help you with all of these things. Really, on the drums, when there's something you can't do, you have to do it until you can. And now there are different exercises and different things that you can do, and we have a ton of those on the app to show you step by step. Hey, practice this. You do this, and you can ask people like Marvin Collins. He's in the house. He's been through the modified shed camp.
What up, Marv?
We got people who know that what we're saying right now is not like these. We're not just talking. You could get results. You can get what you need. You just have to like put in the work and the time and the effort. So like, as far as the exercises go, I would start with this, using basic rudiments to get, because what happens is
how we started the shed camp.
we have ideas in our mind, but the problem is that we can't get our hands to do what the ideas are. But if we go back to the building blocks of these patterns, because everything in drumming, all these patterns and crazy things that you hear are literally variations of single strokes and double strokes all the time. It's just about how you put them together. If you're going to play them in certain subdivisions, are you going to play them in certain groupings? However you do it, right? Are you going to put them between your hands and your feet? However you do it. And so we have exercises that show you that. We can't like give examples right now because you wouldn't hear well at all.
Another rudiment is flams, which is a form of two single strokes played next to each other.
Very close together.
Singles, doubles, and flams is what it is.
Some people may say paradiddles, and I'll say that is a combination of single strokes and doubles, sir. Somebody will say a 5-stroke roll or a 6-stroke roll. I'm like, you know what? That is a single and double stroke combination. Someone will say, well, what about the flam, tap, rat, tat, 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 ding, pow? And I will say, you know what? That sounds like a combination of single strokes and doubles.
Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-pow. Shout out to Willie the drummer. He says, get the app. You know what it is.
You know what it is.
Jacque Dixon says, if you're in the chat right now and you don't have the app downloaded, what are you doing with your life? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Period, point blank.
Blake the Great says, oh, dang, I thought it was about the app. But okay, I'll mention. It's cool. It's cool. I was on a roll.
Listen.
Justin Drum says, seriously, the app is so useful. There we go. Okay, but I'm going to come back to Blake the Great. Here we go. Willie the drummer says, cut the shift. Get the app. Y'all know what it is.
Yo, great. Real talk. I got go ahead. I'm going to let you finish, and I got a question for everybody.
Blake the Great, how do y'all turn them PDPs? Turn? Blake? Okay. How do y'all turn them PDPs because them floor toms sound like Barry White's voice? Oh, tune.
Well, listen, I do my thing.
We have a
I definitely do my thing.
We have a
I'm gonna leave it at that, but go ahead.
Wow. There is a lesson on the app.
There is.
In a tuning lesson.
I let him teach it.
Wow.
I did. You'll see when you go on the app, you'll see that there is lessons that he's taught. You see that there are lessons that I've taught, and that's a whole series that I definitely let him do. The lessons
he taught was on his Pearl with the we're not gonna name that other company, striped out drum heads, but on the ones that I teach, Aquarium, y'all know what it is.
Aquarium, man. Shout out.
Yeah, I prefer my floor toms to be Barry White voice.
Sorry.
They gotta be.
Somebody just wrote in, Timothy, do you have the PDF for the flam tap? The flam tap, pada ping the pow.
Can you email us a PDF? I'm gonna email you the PDF of the Uta Uta.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was tuned.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
To answer Blake Great's question, listen, you get access to every video on the app for $9.99 a month. $9.99. $10 a month, man. It's not gonna stay there. It's gonna go up to $20. We have around 300 videos up there now. It's gonna be way more videos than that in the future.
There is no tuning on the 8 and the 16.
I got a question I want to ask everybody, but I'm gonna wait to ask everybody towards the end. I know we're getting close, but Sticks, I wanted to ask you, bro. Oh, and shout out to Marvin. He said message. He was echoing the sentiments since he's been in
the Facebook side.
Yeah, in the Facebook. He's on the Facebook yet. So here's my question to you. Have you ever taken a hiatus from all of your gigs or maybe some of your gigs? Have you done any form of hiatus?
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose?
I was fired.
Okay.
No.
What gig did you get fired from?
I got fired from a church gig.
What gig was that?
It was a
I don't even know about this.
Yeah, you do.
Do I?
Yeah, this was years ago. It was a CCM church. And
but you didn't get really fired.
Yeah, I'll tell the story.
Okay.
I'll do the short version because we're already 30 minutes in. The short version is it was me and 2 other drummers, and they were playing for free. They was like, I just want to volunteer for the Lord. You know how drummers do. This is my give back to God. I play drums in church as if church is God. But anyway, that's another subject for another day. I'm not getting at drummers who play for free in church. I'm not coming at y'all, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, get back to the Lord. I'm playing in church. Sure. This is what's going to get you in, playing in church.
Okay. Go ahead.
So they made a decision. The pastor
Christ.
was like, we want to save more money. And I was one of the only musicians getting paid. And so they was just trimming the fat. And they were like, you can play here. It just won't be for any more pay.
Wow.
And I said, well, I could stay at home for that same amount of pay. So I decided to do that. And at that time, I had just recently quit playing in cover band because at that time, cover band was a little painful. So didn't have a cover band gig, didn't have a church gig, and I lived off of my savings because I've been a full-time musician since I want to say 19 or probably 20. So that was all of my money. I had to live off of my savings, and instead of going to get a job, I was like, nah. Well, I went for an interview at Guitar Center, but the pay that they was talking, I said, nah, bro, I can't do it.
You know, it's funny.
So,
since I've been 22, I've been a full-time musician as well. And I went and looked at getting a job for some side hustle before. And when they told me to pay, they were ready to hire me too. And they told me to pay, I was like, nah, I can't. Like, I can easily go get a gig versus this.
Yeah,
I'll just get another gig.
That part.
Yeah.
I chose to practice myself because I had enough money in my savings account to live off of for a year. I ended up getting a call for a gig, I think 6 or 7 months later. So I was fine, but I had enough to sustain me for a year. Now, once that year had passed, if it was to pass, then I would have had to reconsider going to Guitar Center, picking up as many gigs as possible.
But you had some savings. You're smart.
Yeah, I was able to make that decision where it was like, you know what? Let me not jump back into the playing gigs and all of that. Let me focus on getting better as a musician. There was a lot of things that I wanted to work on. I still am working on some of those things, but that was the best decision. I'm glad they fired me because that 6-7 months, it was just you practice, man. And I love the reps, bro. That's when I fell in love with practicing. Like, it was, 2-3 hours a day of uninterrupted practice, because that's another hard thing to do. Like, if you try to practice for 3 hours, there's just things that happen. Family members call you, jobs may call you,
them other videos pop up. You know what it is.
Friends call you, and it's hard to tell your friend. It's hard not to answer, because it's like, if the homie call you, even if they just calling to shoot the breeze or whatever, or tell you about their day, 9 times out of 10 you gonna answer the phone like, bro, hey, what's good? Right. But at that time, I was just like, I'm not answering until these 3 hours is up. And people eventually stopped calling me until, the time was up. So that was the best. That was the best time of my life. I don't know if I can do it again right now, like today.
Yeah,
But
I'm not saying that.
I would have to plan for it and be like, okay, let me save up some more money and be able to take another 6-month hiatus off.
And for some people, it may not. I don't think that everyone should.
Go ahead.
I don't think everyone should do the drastic, thing where you disappear and drop off the surface of the earth and nobody can get in contact with you for a year or 6 months or anything like that. But it may just be, hey, I'm gonna cut back on some of the gigs that I play if that's what you want. If you find, and that time period is something for you to decide. That's when you choose, hey, I think I really want to make another stride in my playing. I want to grow substantially in the next 6 months or the next year or the next 3 months. Maybe it's just 1 month for you. And you say, hey, for this next month, I'm not going to accept this or that. Or maybe for you, it's I'm not going to go out with friends on Friday and Saturday night like I do and have drinks and do whatever. I'm going to actually practice for 4 hours during those weekend times or whatever. You can kind of decide and pick and choose, but when you dedicate, the idea is basically to dedicate time to seeing a stride of growth in your playing, not just the incremental day by day, which is cool, which is good, because you want to be practicing 15 years from now. You still want to be practicing, but to have like a huge stride, like think of the time that you actually had a big stride in your playing. It's typically when you were playing and practicing a lot. It was a period of time where you probably were younger and you didn't have a job. That's what it was for me. Like I can honestly say, that 80% of the skills that I have today came from the stride of time that I was able to practice a lot when I was younger. Now I've still gotten better, but not in the same stride. But if I know that if I wanted to, I could take, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it's something that you need to do right now. You need to stop what you're doing, quit your job, quit your life. Just go get a rehearsal studio and take showers at the gym.
That's what they want you to do in church. They want you to not pay your bills and just pay tithes and offering. They want you to quit paying money elsewhere.
Wow.
It makes sense if you don't think about it.
Listen,
that was relatable.
You ask them what they think of Michael Jackson? Because you keep asking.
First of all, we got a comment. We got a bunch of comments over here on YouTube, but I want you to. Marvin said something. There's a 3-liner there. So.
No, he says currently I can't sub to the app due to a fault. Can you guarantee the $9.99 price for me because I really want it? Listen, Marvin, we'll talk in the DMs.
Whoa. Okay.
No, real talk. Marvin's a fan though. He's part of the We're gonna rock. We're gonna talk in the DMs.
All right. Blake the Great says, "Where's the organ? I felt that one. Woo, Jesus was preaching. So you should. I mean, Sticks was preaching. My bad. He said, "Woo, Jesus." Sticks was preaching. As normal. The organ's over there. He didn't fire it up. Tyrone J. Thomas says he gave 3 laugh emojis first. He says, "Yo, I play for a free currently at a CCLI church. Don't know what that is, but
we gonna think that LI is an M church.
Yeah, we're gonna think it's
CCM.
but I'm there more than the paid keyboardist. Wait, what? You are there. All right, let me continue. Been through many frustrations. You guys addressed them in a previous podcast. Okay, because brother, what? Bruh, I almost cussed.
Listen, we're not here to tell you what you should do, but we wouldn't do
it. That's all
do it. We're saying.
Justin Drums was responding to Will the drummer, said tuning can only do so much. Bearing edges play a large factor. That's the type of drum that you buy. I mean, I've tuned a sound percussion kit and smacked that at a gig once, and the sound guy was like, "Yo, this is killing." But I felt it was because of how the sound guy was good, so he made it sound like smacking. So to me, it doesn't matter what the kit is, but yes, bearing edges do make a difference. They definitely do.
What's our opinion on why drummers get paid the least than the other musicians? Well, that only happens in my experience in church.
Yeah, church. Short answer: the drummer's not needed in church. They will kick and they will stomp and clap to just an organ player. And that's it. They'll do that, and that's more important. Or they'll have the deacon's son, who can just play basic, boom, cat, just basic kick,
or the pastor's grandson.
That's it.
And then he gonna grow up and be raw.
That's it.
But here's the thing: I think that in all of people pay where they see value, and if in most churches, at least in black churches, the organist has more value than the drummer. Because I mean, look around at any church. There's like 17 kids lined up around the wall waiting to get their turn on the kit.
I'm gonna get to your question, ingenious drummer. I saw it up earlier. We're gonna get to it. Go ahead.
But when it comes to the organist, there's not nearly as many of those that are good, or the keyboard player, whatever the case is. Now CCM churches, I'm gonna be honest with you, there's a lot of keyboard players, okay, because it's not as intricate.
Keyboard players and guitar
it's not
players.
as intricate of music to play. Trust me, I've subbed over at the CCM church where he plays at. And,
wow.
All I'm saying is that
wow.
I'm not saying those guys aren't talented musicians.
Wow. There's several different. There's like 5 different bass players.
Right.
4 different keyboard players.
Right. Go to a black church where the music is a little more intricate.
So you got one guy.
You know what it is. So at the end of the day,
well, the value is placed on the skill level, because I believe
exactly
the organ player can get off the organ and keep a solid beat 9 times out of 10.
Because everybody who plays anything in church started on the drums.
Right. But the drummer most likely can't get on the organ and just pick up a song on the fly.
It's true.
Probably can't play in more than one key, if they even can play.
It's
one
true.
or two. So it's like, why would we pay this guy a whole heck of a lot of money when you can't do what this guy does?
It's true. It's just
it's
about making yourself valuable, man. The best advice I can give any musician that's trying to make money playing in church: become valuable, get really good, and on top of getting really good,
you'll still make less than the organ player.
Well, most times, yeah. But I'm saying, even if you're,
you'd be the highest paid drummer.
But you could, if you get really good, you have a good attitude, you're a nice person to be around. You know how to, in a church setting, flow with the service, and you're not just like not paying attention to what's happening and don't know how to be in the moment in a church service, then you'll lose. But if you can get that part, people will call you.
All right, I'm gonna get to ingenious drummer's question, but first we have 22 people in here and only 13 likes. Come on.
Somebody wrote, I get 115 a Sunday now.
150.
I feel blessed. Or 150 a Sunday now. I feel blessed. It's over $1.
Shout out to DJC. You know what it is.
Oh my goodness, listen.
Ingenious drummer says, do you have any tips for someone who is trying to be a touring musician? Did we?
I think we did a whole.
I think we did a podcast on that.
Well, we did the Smoke and Mirrors podcast.
Check out Smoke and Mirrors podcast. It's on the Drum Coaches side.
And we had a homie that is out there. Matter of fact, he just did the Kanye West.
Y'all. So previously he was on the podcast.
He was on the podcast. The homie Brandon Harris.
Brandon Harris is now playing.
You can go back to the
with the Kanye West church.
The church
Sunday
service. He like literally.
We gotta have him back.
Yeah, we gotta have him back. He literally just moved to LA about a few weeks ago. Month ago now.
July. What's today?
End of July though. It was like close to the beginning of August.
Yeah, so about over a month.
Yeah, a little over a month, man. But within like 2 or 3 weeks, he was already on. So I feel like he's gonna be a good person to have back on the show, on the podcast, to really talk about his journey and how he's pressed and made his way in that department of career.
That part.
Speaking of touring, Damani, what was that you said that was a joke in the Drum Code episode? What was he talking about?
Drum Code episode is different from the podcast, right? Oh wait, you call these episodes? I think he's referring to the actual.
He said, speaking of touring, what was that you said that was joke in the? Okay, Blake, if you can go ahead and clarify that question, because
I mean, you might be talking about those first. You know, when we did the actual Drum Code.
Is he talking about when we mentioned going on tour and you didn't want to talk about it, and I brought it up anyway?
Oh, but when I was on the podcast, I thought he was talking about, the first 8 episodes we did, which is not podcast Drum Code. It was Drum Code, the show.
Oh, the original Drum Code.
I thought that's what he was talking about. Maybe he's talking about
one of these days we might bring that back.
It's a lot of work, bro.
It was good content though.
It was excellent content.
Yeah, maybe when more people sign up for the app. Remember when you said I've been on the
What's
tour
the podcast? Ingenious. The podcast is called Smoke and Mirrors.
That's the name of the episode. Our podcast is called Drum Code.
Oh, my bad.
But the name of the episode,
hashtag Drum Code,
yeah.
Smoke and Mirrors. Search that on YouTube.
And by the way, before we get out of here, guys, this podcast is live on Facebook and YouTube, but we do also have the podcast audio only on SoundCloud, on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, everywhere you can stream podcasts, except I think Spotify. For some reason, I don't think SoundCloud distributes to Spotify, but they distribute everywhere else.
Your boys, wow. Shout out to Walt. Big Walt. The homie.
Yeah, what's up, Walt?
He might not be in there now, but
he was.
Well,
Jalen Barnes is in here too.
Oh, the Brodies is all in here, family.
What's good, fam? What is up?
Talk about gigging locally. We need to have Walt on the podcast.
Man.
Walt, you need to come in here.
They came through. I was playing a funeral. Yeah. Walt came through, man, with this quartet group. Bruh.
Yeah.
You was there.
I was in the building.
You was there.
I didn't even want to play after.
I was like,
talk about making yourself valuable, and all he did was
pocket.
groove.
And it was, but bro,
that groove was so.
Oh my goodness,
it was so deep off in that thing. Deep, just.
Bro, are you still talking about drums?
Bro, well, listen.
At the end of the day,
I'm not talking about Cherokee.
Wow.
Not the native.
This is a drum podcast. This is not.
Cherokee has a.
We're done.
Wait, there's more questions over here. She has a. I mean, not that. Carlo Marcelo says, does playing a little bit more make you an over player? My church band plays super simple chords, verbatim, but I like to change drum parts, put small chops in there. I don't think it makes you overplayer, but that answers for whoever's in charge of the music.
Right. So okay, when you're playing at church, people don't like to say this, but you're doing a job. And what I mean by that is you're serving. You got to follow the leadership of whoever is leading there. If whoever's leading there doesn't like what you're doing or wants you to do less, then you got to do that, because that's why they hired you, right? And at the end of the day, that's what it is. Now, I don't think that it's wrong to add things or changes. You just have to ask yourself, does it serve the music? Does it serve the purpose of the music director, right? If you're not the music director, then you have to see if what you're doing serves that purpose. That's all I'm saying.
Edwin Morrow writes, will the app work for me? #white drummer.
Listen, man.
That works for everyone.
The app will definitely work for you. The app will definitely work for you.
It allowed you to explore your own creativity and
because at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's about you exploring your own creativity, finding your own. We're just trying to give you the tools.
I mean, honestly, let's keep it a buck, okay?
Go ahead.
You guys have spent more money and wasted time on other things.
Talk about
Try it for a month. Just $10.
Yep.
Of course, it's not $10, family. Like if it was $300-400, I understand. If it was $300 a month, like, bro, will it work for me? I don't know. I'm putting that much money. I get that.
$9.99.
Family.
You spent more money than that at McDonald's this afternoon.
That part. Okay. You went to Popeyes for the chicken sandwich.
I did.
With the fries and the soda.
Twice.
Stop playing.
Twice.
Chipotle's $8 a bowl now.
Yeah,
like $8 a burrito.
Wild.
They getting out.
They wild.
Out of control.
They are out of control.
But stop
Ask me if I want some queso. Good and well.
It's $2.50.
I'm not getting that queso.
It's $2.50 for cheese.
Man, I'll do that on my birthday.
$10, bro. Try it for a month, man. Stop playing.
Yeah. It's all good, Edwin. It definitely worked for you. You could try it out. Matter of fact, here's the question that I wanted to pose to everyone.
Oh wait, no. DJ said something to you.
Oh, he said before you go, got to give them the I'm fired up. Yo, he took it back. That is a Drum Field Friday.
Season 1.
Because Stone Cold said so. If you smile. I watched that clip the other day, bro. I was crying laughing. Yo, I'm finna start taking those jokes, those skits, and posting them on Instagram.
Oh my gosh, you still have them?
They're on the app.
Oh wow. They are on the app. I knew that.
Drum Field.
Yeah, they on the app.
Drum Field Friday is on the app, yo.
Not all of them,
but most of them. So, the question I wanted to ask you guys, those of you who do use the app, those of you who have played with it, who have explored, even if you have a subscription, even if you don't,
Facebook too.
How do you guys use the app? What do you guys do? What is your process? Leave a comment. You don't have to leave it in the chat. You can, or you can just leave it in the comments. I'm gonna be looking at them. I'm gonna be responding.
Leave
to
it in
them.
the comments. Don't comment now. Stop what you're doing. Don't answer now because we got to get We got to get out of here. We have to go.
Right.
So don't answer now. Answer in the comment section.
I just want to know what your process is, how you use the app, what it's helping you do, so we can continue to help make it better. So yeah, that part. And I'm gonna be sending out an email in the next week or so because I want to schedule time with you guys to actually have one-on-one conversations with y'all via Skype or whatever, and get to know y'all a little more personally. That's it. Hey, Timothy, you right about it. I'm not gonna read what he said, but that's how it went. And I remember being in high school, bro. We're playing football, and we're walking because that's what you do when you're playing football before the games. I'm fired up, you fired up, yeah. I'm fired up, you fired up, yeah. So when we would get we're walking by parents, teachers, principal, admin staff, and all, and we're yelling out these obscenities, and everyone is acting like it is okay. I didn't even think about it at the time. Like, yo, I was actually out there wilding.
You was tripping, bro.
I was out there losing my mind. But anyway, woo. Yeah.
You sent me an email before, then never Skype me playing games.
First of all, don't get at me.
You playing?
That's not
you never
that's not
Skyped
true,
him, bro.
I tried to reach out to everybody who have emailed before. And
Aaron said, "Where's the Shed Camp Volume 1? It's on the app."
Yeah, it's on the app.
It's on the app.
Yep. If it's not showing up on the app, then there's something I can do in the back end to make sure that happens. Because it's there.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, fam.
That's it.
We about to be done. Hashtag all the way through.
Somebody said, "What drummers have we been listening to lately?"
I've been watching a lot of Mason, actually. It's phenomenal.
This shit is ridiculous.
It's it's insane.
I haven't
been excited about watching a drummer play like Mason since volume 2 of Gospel Chops.
Wow.
Not that there hasn't been great drummers.
2008.
But when that came out, how excited I was when I saw it.
Yeah.
Especially coming from Gospel Chops Volume 1, and then when Volume 2 came out, and then all these other new drummers that I was introduced to. But I've seen Mason. I saw Mason at NAMM one year playing on the street. And I didn't even know who he was. But we were standing outside talking, me and some of the other homies from where we're from Northern California. We were just standing outside talking, and there was this guy playing a small kit on the street, like right behind us, like literally right there, murdering. And nobody was saying anything. And I turned around to the group of guys that I was with, and I said, "You guys can all act like he's not killing right now if you want to, but he is murdering right now."
In other words, what you told the church was, "I don't know what you came to do."
Listen, but I felt an anointing when that brother was playing on the street. It was ridiculous. I was like, "Oh my God!" But now to see
the growth
from then, it was amazing then. Right now, it is like alien status.
Last year,
it is like otherworldly.
Last year at NAMM, not this past year, not this past January, the year before, 2018, I was over in the food section at NAMM, and he's just walking, like just by himself, just walking. I'm like, "Man, is that Mace?" I said, "Mace." And he's like, "Oh yeah, hey, what's up?" So I come shake hands, yada yada yada. I say, "Hey man, just huge fan," because his playing is ridiculously
phenomenal,
innovative. And he goes, "Hey man, I'm giving it's a small little thing back in this room over here. I'm giving a little clinic if you want to come by. No one really knows about it." Yeah. I said, "Okay, cool. When does it start?" He said, "In about 20 minutes. Okay, bet. I'm gonna finish my sandwich. I'll slide on over there." I walk into this room. There's no one in there. There's 3 people. One is the artist he plays for. The second is his girlfriend.
Wow.
And third, is me. the drum company that he's playing with, one of the person that works there, they ended up walking in because it was for the drum company that it was doing the clinic for. But out of all those people, I was the only drummer, and I had an opportunity to literally ask him any and everything that I wanted to know from his brain, because I just wanted to pick his brain. And it was like he was giving me a one-on-one lesson because no one else was asking any questions. The dude he's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah,
and it's not that he's ridiculous. He knows what he's playing. He knows what he's trying to go for, and he executes it. That's the hard part for myself and my playing. I know what I'm trying to go for, but oftentimes it doesn't get executed. And that's what I can't stand. But anyway, that's that. We got to get out of here.
Yep. Shout out to Richard Kelly, man.
Shout out to everybody who joined in. Hashtag all the way through.
Hashtag all the way through. Hashtag you know what it is.
Thumbs up the video, man.
Yep. And we're going to get these T-shirts together, man. We've been talking about it, but we're going to get these T-shirts together.
We'll see you guys on Monday.
All right. We're going to peace out to the Facebook fan first. Peace.
Is today Thursday? Yeah, we'll see you guys Monday.
All right. We peacing out to the YouTube fam. Appreciate y'all, man.
Go practice.
Peace.